Hi there, welcome. Today we are going to talk about what is a HTML document. This is an absolute fundamental presentation on HTML. Alright, now before we get into the exact details of HTML, you know what we will do? We have opened a Google Chrome browser and we have typed in google.com, and what we see is the home page for Google. Alright, we are going to open another tab here, and this time we'll say facebook.com and hit enter. So now when we hit enter, what we see here is the home page for Facebook, right? So now the home page for Google and the home page for Facebook, these are nothing but these are web pages, right? Now these are web pages which are served by the respective websites. So when I visit google.com and then I hit enter, I get a web page given by Google or google.com. So similarly, when I'm at facebook.com, I hit enter, I get a web page given by facebook.com. So now these web pages are also called HTML documents. So now very quickly you understand that all websites that we visit, they serve as web pages which are nothing but HTML documents. So any form of web programming or web development, if you want to do, you absolutely have to nail down the fundamentals of what is HTML and what are the basics of HTML and how do you use it, right? So that said, now let's get started. We want to now write our own HTML document. So I have a Notepad++ program open here. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to click New. Now, one thing we didn't talk about is HTML. It stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So HTML itself is a markup language. It describes a web page. HTML, it actually contains some tags and some text. Now all HTML documents, they start with HTML tag and we have a HTML start tag, opening tag, and we have a HTML closing tag. You will notice that the closing tag actually contains a forward slash like this and then the same tag name. HTML opening tag, we write within angle bracket HTML, and in the closing tag we put, the only difference is that after we put the angle bracket, we put forward slash and then we put the same name of the tag, which is HTML, and we then close the tag. So this is the opening tag, this is the closing tag. The entire HTML document, it always lives within the HTML tag. Now HTMLs are very similar to human beings in the sense that they contain a head, which is a header tag, and a body, which is represented by the body tag. So HTML document has a header tag and a body tag. Now we save it. Now whenever you save any file, as you know, whether it's a Word document, Excel, a text file, you have to give it a name. So we will call this Hi There. Now when we save it, this is important, when you save it, you do not want to save it as a text file because this is a HTML file. So we are going to look for hypertext markup language file and we say save. Now when we go back to our browser, we're going to open a new browser. This time we're going to type in localhost and we say Hi There. We hit enter, and to our utter surprise we see blank screen even after we put all those stuff in. So friends, yeah, so what happened really is in here we actually created the structure of the HTML document. We really didn't put in anything as a content inside the document. So yes, we see a valid HTML document because our site gave us HTML document, but it doesn't have anything in it or just yet. So what we will do is we will go to the header tag, and then we are going to put in title tag. So title open, title close, and we are going to say first web page. We save it, go back, and now we hit enter. Now you will notice here that the title of the page has changed to first web page. So the body still is blank, but we got a title of our web page. Okay, now let's put something. Let's add some content. So where will the content go? Will the content go in the header tag or in the body tag? Yes, you guessed it right. The content goes in the body tag. So it's just like a human being. So we have a head and a body. So when you have to put on a dress or anything like that, it all goes on our body, right? Hands, legs, and the rest of it. So the head, you don't really have a whole lot going on, right? Or that's what we think. All right. So now some of the basic things that we would want to learn is that, well, there are these tags called the heading. So they are represented by H1. So we say, so this is H1 tag, and we close it like this. And let's say we call it first heading tag. Now there are actually 6 of them. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually copy this and paste this. This will be second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So this is an important thing to know. So this is H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Similarly, we know that when we have to close these tags, the tag name, it has to match. H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. Alright. Now, so the first one, we put the content as first heading. Then let's put the second one as second heading. Then third heading, fourth heading, fifth heading, and sixth heading. We save it, go to the browser, and we hit enter. And there we have it. We have a lot of content for us for the first time. So when we load our web page, our HTML document, we see the title, first web page, and here we see that we are basically seeing the content. So we put first heading tag, second heading tag, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So as you notice that as you increase the heading number from 1 through 6, the font size and the font weight, which is how bold it is, both of them are reducing, right? So when we go from 1 through 6, the font, the text is becoming smaller, and it's also becoming lighter. So it's almost the same as if you do it in a Microsoft Word document. You create a simple document, and then when you create these headings, right, the headings, as you create more and more subheadings, the font reduces, the size reduces, and the thickness reduces, or the boldness reduces. It's very similar. So it's important to know about this particular tag. So when you create the HTML content for your HTML document, this is one of the tags that you can actually make use of. So I think we are going to explore more and more tags as we go along in these in this series. So for today, let's wrap up by saying that, well, we saw that HTML, all the web pages that we see when we go online are actually HTML documents, right? And HTML documents contain HTML tags and some plain text. So all HTML documents start with HTML tag, and they all are within the HTML start and end tag. So HTML document contain a header, which is the head tag, and a body, which is the body tag, right? So we saw in this example, we put a title for our web page, and we put our headings. So friends, that's all for today. Stay tuned for more presentations on this subject.